pinned my top to the sides, and I've obviously done it wrong because I have a great big bit left over. So that's because I didn't stretch. You do need to pull the top. Sorry, it's very difficult for me to show you what I'm doing. The top of this edge here will need to be stretched as you pin in the circle. If it doesn't stretch quite far enough, you might need to cut notches in it. I've never had to do that with those, but I think I might have to with this one because this material doesn't have an awful lot of give in it. Okay, so I'm going to redo it and come back and try again. Right, as you can see, with lots of pulling and easing and pinning and easing and pulling and easing, and I went round and round and round several times, 5, 6 times, and eventually got it to stretch, so without actually having to cut any notches in this bit here. So now we stitch this, and again at a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, trying to keep both edges as flat as possible so you don't get any little pleats in it. Okay, so I'm just going to go off and do that and I'll be back. Right, I've now sewn my hat. You see, it's beginning to look like a hat now. I did manage to get one little pleat in it, but never mind, it just proves it's homemade. So now what you do now is you sort of thumb press the seam allowance inside downwards. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this. So you're sort of going along pressing this down, because what we're going to do now is actually top stitch about 1/4 of an inch from this seam, and that will then keep these seam allowances down neat. Okay, we're almost done for today, so we'll just go off and do that now. So if you thumb press it all the way around, and then it's easy. See, there's my little pleat. Never mind. You might find as you press it that the seams are a little bit too tight. If they are, you can always put notches in these so that it lies flat. But I think this one's going to lie flat. So I'm just going to go off and top stitch that one, and then I'll be back. Right, I don't know if you can see, but I've top stitched all the way around. You can just about see it there. About 1/4 of an inch down. This is the side of the hat, not on the brim of the hat. Crown of the hat. It's on the side, not on the round bit on the top. You'll probably find this bit a lot easier on the Oliver and S one. A, because the top's not completely round, it's slightly oval, and they've got notches cut in it, which this one doesn't have. So that's your top of your hat now finished. So if you'd like to take your pieces from your other colour and make an identical one of these in your other thing, and then we'll carry on and make the brim tomorrow. Okay, see you then. Bye bye.